Good morning, future engineers, or depending on what time zone you're in, it might be afternoon as well if you're on the East Coast. Welcome to our first video about STEM education. And this is going to be a video that is a life skill that you can take with you. Moms and dads, you might even want to try and create one of these as well, depending on what field of work you are in. So today what we're going to be talking about, and just a little introduction about myself, I am Andrea Hueso, and I am a a nationally STEM certified teacher and for the United States, and I have been teaching STEM education for all grade levels for the past 9 years, but especially focusing on the development of curriculum and keeping up with the new technologies to pass down to students that are applicable so that they can apply that for the future. So today what we're going to talk about is we are going to talk about how do I create a website. Now, there's a couple of different websites that you could use, but of course for students, I feel that the safest that you can do or sites that you can use is Canva here. They have a great little site here, and I can show you my professional site to where it's going to talk about a couple of different things that I've done in my career and what I do. But as a student, you're going to be creating a site today that's actually considered what's called an ePortfolio, because nowadays websites are ePortfolios, and it shows what you know, what you've done, and how you can go about making someone else see how valuable your learning and abilities are. Now, for this purpose, we're not going to use Canva. We're actually going to go over to Google here. And if you don't have a Google account, it's really quite simple to sign up. You're just going to go to google.com and create an account. If you do have a Google account, make sure that you sign in first, because then you want to make sure that it saves. So over on my Google tab, and you can see here that it says Google Sites. And what I'm going to actually do here is I'm going to show you how we got here. So we actually got here by typing in google.com/sites, S-I-T-E-S. Okay. Now, the reason why we type this in is because for some reason the little waffle over on the side that is usually next to your name, way over on the side here, it does not have the icon for sites anymore, so you have to type it manually in, but it's not a problem. Really easy to do. So what you're going to do to create your ePortfolio, you're going to click on this blank. Okay. And this will give you a blank docket as to what a basic web page is going to look like. Now, this will be a web page that in the future you can definitely publish to the internet. But the cool thing is that you can publish this so that you can share it, one, with universities, and also two, once you get out of the university and you want to still be using this, you can share it on a job application. Okay, so what we're going to type in this very beginning, this is just a basic here. What we're going to do though is we're going to go ahead and change the name first so that we can find it easily. We're going to click in ePortfolio. And I like to put my last name just so that it's identified. Okay, you can click outside. Notice it puts your name right here, the same here and here. Now here we're going to say the title of this, right? And it's going to be my name, right? Mrs. Hueso's ePortfolio. All right. And notice how pretty that looks right there, but it really doesn't have too much color here. This is a great little font here. You can change the font, but what we're going to do is I want to go over here to this image, and I'm going to show you two different ways. I can go to image and I can say select, And Google has a lot of these cool little backgrounds that you can put in for free, of course. And you can click what's going to match you. Now, for me, I would probably choose this one because it's going to show that I am learning, right? For you, you might choose like Post-its, or you might choose also this notebook, or you can go through and choose any one you like here, okay? And it's a real easy thing that you can choose. So if you're following along with me, you can go ahead and pause the video and choose, and then go ahead and unpause so that you have that right up with me. So I'm going to click on this one. That's a notebook. Okay. Notice it says one selected. I'm going to insert it. And then I have a pretty background here. Okay. Now, here's the next part. The next part is that we're going to actually, over here, it has some content blocks, okay? And these content blocks are really awesome, okay? Because of the fact that these content blocks give you a little format before you get going, or to help you get going. So what I'm going to do is, and you can do a lot of different things in here. We're going to talk about a lot of different ones. We're just going to do this as a startup at first, and then I'll go more in depth later. So I'm going to click on this first content block here, and notice how it has a picture and then it has a text. And I'm going to put in here, okay, I'm going to put all about me. Oops. You do not need to capitalize each letter. I just like to do that. Okay. And then I'm going to click down here, and then I'm going to talk about what am I? Who am I? Okay. I am in the, you go ahead and fill in, grade. My passion in education is learning about, don't forget why, because, okay. And then you can also talk about the clubs that you are involved in. If you're in chess club, if you're in robotics club. So I might say, I participate, I'm going to use this as if it was my daughter or a student. I participate in the after school robotics club using EV3s. And that's a Lego brand robot. And then I can also indicate that I also participate. I am also a participant in the school chess club, where I learn about strategy and problem solving. Because notice I'm putting in a skill there, because when you're doing chess, of course, you're going to be learning about problem solving and strategies. Now, if you're in a different club, of course, put in your other club there, okay? Now, my future goals, oops, if you spell right, goals are to attend, if you have a specific university in there, go ahead and put it in, university, to study, If you don't have anything in mind, that's okay. All right, but I want you to start thinking about your future here, okay? In addition, I'm going to say, I excel. I am really good at this and these subjects. Okay, so put two subjects that you're really good at. Maybe you're good at science, maybe you're good at math. And notice how it does it like a little spell check. Of course, you probably already know this. Want to put a little space because that's gonna say, hello, it doesn't look right. Now, this is just a quick little thing in here. And the cool thing is that you can be putting this in a real quick deal. Now, do you want to put a picture over here? You could. Okay, you could put a picture of yourself over here. Or you could also put a picture of, for instance, like an image that represents you. Okay, maybe if you're a soccer player or you participate in a particular sport, maybe you put a soccer player here. Okay, and that's going to be up to you as to what you want to put in there. Okay, now here we have all about me. Now people know about you, right? Know about your passion. Notice that it's not a full long page, okay? But we're gonna then talk about skills, okay? So I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna put in this little block here that shows, that shows two photos and then some text underneath, okay? And that's gonna go right underneath our All About Me. So if I click that, see I have this real cool. And guess what I'm gonna do? We're gonna talk about the skills that you're good at, okay? So we're gonna talk about, for instance, we call them soft skills, okay? And then we talk about just plain old skills, okay? Soft skills are those things like, for instance, are you a team player? Yeah, you are. I'm a team player. Okay. Are you good at problem solving? Yep. I'm good at problem solving. So you gotta kind of have to gloat about yourself, all right? This is not the time that you have to go, well, I'm not. No, you want to gloat about yourself. This is where you're gonna shine, okay? I'm good at problem solving. I'm good at, maybe I say I'm good at typing. If you've been working on typing.com, notice I've been typing here and you can hear my keys going off on the keyboard. So I can say that I am type 65 words per minute. No, that's just me. Okay, but you don't have to do that. Or I'm good at Apple iPad. Okay. And then let's come over here and let's put in some other skills. Like for instance, let's put in, and we can put soft skills on both of them, but let's go ahead and put in that we can do Google, and we call it Google Suites apps. Okay, now if you're used to also using Microsoft, which is what my computer is on also, you can say Microsoft. That's just basically the other one. Suites. Okay, you can also say that you are good at coding, if especially use maybe code.org. Okay, or that you are good at anything else in there, okay? Maybe you are good at communication, okay? So these are just some things to describe you, okay? Now, what are we going to do in here? Are we going to put a picture of ourselves? No. We don't want to get that bad, okay? So what we can do here is that we can say plus sign and we can change the image, okay? So we can either upload, and that means that it goes to your Photos app, and it will pick up a photo from there. Please do not use Pokemon. Okay, really, this is professional. They don't need to know that. So don't be using cartoon figures, all right? But you can also say select image, okay? Now this is just connected to mine, but I'm going to go over to Google Images here, and I'm going to type in computer science. Okay. Look at all these fun pictures, and they're free. Okay, so maybe I put in one of these computer science things. So I say, oh, I'm really good at coding, so I'm going to put in this picture. Okay, I'm going to put that in. Boom. And then, wait, I want to pick another one. So I'm going to go back to my Google Images again, and I'm going to put in, let's say, I'm good at teamwork, right? Because everybody wants teamwork, huh? So I can choose any of these teamwork images here, okay? And I might, for this purpose, I think I'm gonna choose maybe, let's go down and see how all these cool little teamwork deals here. Maybe I put this one in, right? Doesn't really show teamwork too well, okay? So I wanna show something that represents that people are working together, okay? Now this is a great photo, but does it say teamwork? No. So I probably don't want to put teamwork there, right? And I don't want to put like, this lazy thing here because he kind of looks lazy in a chair. Okay. Together, everyone achieves more. So, oh, that's perfect, right? So that's going to talk about team. Oh, but man, I got to change it, don't I? Now I can go back and I can basically say, oops, okay, and I can say replace image because of the fact that it didn't fit, did it? Okay, so I'm going to try again. Oops, go back. Sorry. I didn't go back far enough. I need to go here. Teamwork. Okay, let's try this one. Or, ooh, maybe you have teamwork skill training. Probably not yet. That looks a lot better, doesn't it? Okay, so these are things that you can put in here for somebody to highlight and go, oh, you know how to do this stuff? Oh, that's super cool. Now down here in this area, here is where you're going to want to be putting in maybe, let's try this. We're going to put a button. Okay, let's click on, and I'm over on the far right hand side here. I'm going to put a button. Okay, click. And I'm going to name this button contact. Okay. Now notice it says link. Okay. Now that one probably won't work, huh? So we're going to cancel that and say, the button's not working yet. But if you had some social links, you could put in some social links, couldn't you? Okay. Or maybe you're like a lot of kids and you have a YouTube page and maybe you want to put in a YouTube page there. So let's say we want to come up here and I want something different up here. Okay. So I'm going to go over to pages. On the far right hand side, I'm going to click that page. Notice how it says home here. I'm going to click the plus sign and I'm going to click new page. Click. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click in and put projects. Okay. Now I can put projects if I did a lot of project work, or I can also put in there how to this would be like your ePortfolio work or work examples. Okay. But I like to say projects. So I'm going to change that to projects. Okay. And that's going to tell me, here I have my projects. Okay. So somebody can come over and go, oh, here's your homepage. Here's how to contact you. Oh, here's my projects. Oh, but notice this has like a cool little background still. It used my same background, right? What if I don't want to use my same background? Okay, what if I want to use something else? So I can come back over here and I can say select. And I can come down and I can use another one. Now, our tab, remember, is called projects. So I need to look for something that's going to kind of focus on projects, okay? So what if I come over here like we did before and I put in project learning? Just see what it comes up. It comes up with a lot of different things, right? Maybe I put in this one, right? Learning environment. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, that looks great, doesn't it? But notice it automatically adjusted because guess what? I can't see my title now. Now, notice when I click on this, I can move my title box wherever I'd like it, okay? I can move it down here. I can move it wherever I want it. And I don't even have to have it this big. I can actually have it small as well. But what you want to focus on is making sure that your project title here is easy to use, okay? So maybe I want to put it over here and I want to say projects. I kind of like it in the middle. Notice it has little teeny tiny tabs so I can grab it easier, okay? And maybe I want to underline it just to make it flashier, okay? See how that works? And notice here's the title of your page still. Here's a home. Here's your projects. Now, when we're in here, we want to come back to insert, okay? And what we're going to look at is you can put in, for instance, a lot more things like, for instance, you put in some docs that you have or a slideshow that you've created, right? And maybe you have a slideshow that I can put in, okay? Maybe I say, oh, here's my slideshow. Now, I'm going to put this in as just an example here, okay? So just one that I have is that I'm going to click on this one, okay? And I'm going to put that in. Boom, it has a cool little slideshow in here, right? But I don't want to leave it just like that. I need to tell about it, okay? So you can either like double click over here and you click text. And I can tell about what this is, okay? A slideshow that I created to introduce. So you gotta give a little description about it, okay? Describe what is this project about, okay? Use 3 to 5 sentences. Okay, so key things you want to talk about is that you want to talk about who did you work with? Why did you create it? What was the outcome? Maybe that's your grade or, who did you share it with? Okay, those are little key things you want to put in there. Okay, so now that we got this and you're gonna start plugging in the projects that you've been doing, I'm gonna share one last little thing because I don't want this to go too long. I'm gonna come over here and notice how there's a little tab on the right-hand side. Remember, this is like your toolbar. Themes. So notice I can change what this looks like. Okay, so what if I click on diplomat? Oh, it puts a box around it. I don't like that. What if I click on Aristotle? That's okay. What if I click on impression? And notice it's all changing right here, okay? It's changing my title right here, okay? Or maybe I just click on learning level. I kind of like this one because notice how it changes the colors in here. If we really want to look at it differently, we can look over here. Okay, impressions. Notice, look how pretty it puts that in a box type of deal. Or highlights it. Remember that was in our box. That looks pretty cool too. Okay, normally it's going to be on simple. Okay, but I like to have a little flashy to it. Right. I personally, I like this one because it underlines my name. but I have to check my other tab to make sure it looks good too. Yeah, it looks good there too. So don't forget that when you are all done, you need to make sure that you publish, okay? Or else nobody can see it. Okay, so you can push publish. It will have the web address, okay? And then you don't want to do this one yet because you have to pay money, but you can say publish, okay? Notice how it's publishing? Now I can come up to this little guy with a plus sign and I can share it. Make sure though, change your restrictions to anyone with the link because you're going to be giving the link out, okay? Don't make it so that it's restricted. Oh, excuse me, fresh. Had a little issue. Okay, so don't make it restricted. You need to make sure that it can be shared, but with the link that you give people. And this is just your hyperlink. This is a quick link. Right? I hope you found this video enjoyable. I know this is the first one, so please give me some comments as to how I can make it either a little bit easier or how you want me to extend this and maybe we do a part 2. Okay, thanks for watching.